Hey, you won't believe that, but I got a postcard by Francisco Tàrrega himself. He made a ride on the roller coaster. Well, actually, I did not get that postcard. But Tàrrega wrote a study which is almost a story of a roller coaster ride, because there are so many items and technical issues in it that you actually can be dazzled as if you have had a ride on a roller coaster. In the Berben edition from Italy, it's number 24. And in that, it's called a study of speed, of velocity. This lesson is part of a series of lessons on this Tarrega studies, which I will release. And if you are interested in that, just let me know. First step to do is a brief formal analysis of the piece. The piece actually has 3 parts and a short coda, and it does not seem to be too complicated because we have an A part, which is repeated, and a B part, and most of them have 8 measures, so that seems to be quite normal. But let's have a look actually what is happening, because remember, it's a roller coaster. Okay, here the A part, you see the first line has 4 measures, the second 3, the third 3, etc. Because there are different technical items in the piece that it's good to analyze separately and to practice as well separately. Follow this path of formal analysis in order to study best all the single elements. The formal analysis you will find in the PDF that you can download from my Dropbox when you subscribe to my newsletter. At the very beginning, we have a short E major scale. All the piece actually is an E major. This would be the scale. It follows this melodic arpeggio. And actually in this thing we have a position shift because we are going from the 4th grade to the 5th in a shift and then the 6th one. First scale to study. In bar 3, the next one, which is a large E major scale in 9th position. The next interesting scale introduces the Mixolydian scale, where it's actually all the notes of E major, but as it begins on B, it is the Mixolydian scale. The Mixolydian scale has the half step between the 6th and 7th grade. There are scales that combine string and position shifts. This Mixolydian scale was one of those. The next one as well. The Mixolydian and the major scale are diatonic scales. There are chromatic scales as well. The chromatic scales have always, if you play in position changes. And those are located when you change the string. Watch out carefully. Here. Then again here and back again. That's quite interesting. Diatonic scales with chromatic passing notes, bar 28. Same in bar 40. Legato-Steps. Actually, we deal with scales, descending scales that have slurs, and it's going in some way, it's going down, but not directly the scale, but with that legatos. I have the first example in bar 4. This is combined with a lot of position shifts as well. That deserves to be practiced separately from the rest. Let's go on to very interesting things which I called Cobra-Rolls. These Cobra-Rolls have always a minor third hammer-on at the beginning. And then go down the arpeggio. Well, here's an exception because this is a major third, but we actually don't have to do any stretch because we use the open string. And we are descending the scale triads of E minor, of E major. What is a melodic arpeggio? If we have the scale, the first 5 grades of E major, and we leave out the second and the fourth note, what we get is, and this is the triad of E major. Played in this order, as it were in the scale, we have what I call a melodic arpeggio, because it's not on 3 strings, but melodically one after another on 2. Actually could have been on 1. Very interesting Cobra-Rolls herein are when the chord is the diminished chord. We already had that video on the exercise of Francisco Tàrrega, which I upgraded, which is very fun to play too. Just watch the video. And here you see how that diminished chord has fingering rules, so to say, which are very interesting. Let's dive in this. Bar 11. We are coming from that major scale, and now the Cobra-Roll diminished. Here is the first minor third with a stretch. The formula is 1, 4, 1, 3, then minor third again, 1, 4, 1, now 2, because we are shifting from the second to the third string, which is not a fourth but a major third, so fingering changes. From here, minor third down, 3 again, because G and D string are a perfect fourth. Minor third down with the third, and then the scale. So, 1 position, now 2 positions. 1 position. This shift of 2 positions is again due to the fact that we have the major third between second and third string. You just watch out from the second finger, go down a minor third. Have fun with the Cobra-Rolls. There are arpeggios in as well, but not only melodic arpeggios as on the beginning. There is a melodic major 6th arpeggio in the beginning. We have the 6th, 5, 3, 1. Repeated an octave lower. For this I have an alternative fingering that you find in the PDF as well. Then the real arpeggios, where you just have to choose the right hand fingering for you, which is this part, bar 30. Which is a major triad in first inversion. At the end of the piece we have the series of triads in the coda which follow a bass melody. We will see that. We have diminished, minor, major. Now a dominant 7 without 5th, major, dominant 7 without 5th, minor, dominant 7th, and major. Okay, as we go through the piece, these are actually the technical items that you can study. Now let's see how you can memorize better the piece. Because memorizing what you have to do technically on the guitar is very good, but if you know harmonically actually what is happening, you have more things that can enforce your memory of the piece. Let's take a look on the harmonic side. If you follow the harmonic side and you combine that with the formal analysis in your studies, you actually can learn it very well. First thing to learn here is that E major scale. Then remember that it goes to the fourth grade. 1, 2, 3, 4, position shift, 5, 6. The next issue was that melodic arpeggio of E6. Next step is the E major scale. So this could be a unit to learn technically and then combine it in the memory. Consider to learn the last part first. That's not too difficult in this case because it's the E major scale. You reach that scale after 2 E6 melodic arpeggios. You should play that better than me. And then go up. You could go on learning all the pieces in that way, beginning, for example, with the last bar of the first A section. Try that and let me know. I hope you liked the video and this lesson is useful for you. Consider if you would be interested in participating to all the series of videos that I'm producing. Leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Bye.